Hey guys, good evening and welcome to another Ascent Tournaments streaming day. This is all about getting ready for the Twister Cup really, and the pressure is on from tonight onwards because now we only have 2 ticketed tournaments left. One of them is tonight, the other one is on Saturday, and that will decide who goes on to the Professionals tournament. So those that didn't get tickets this week or not enough tickets are in for a little bit of trouble with getting the points, the cups that they need in order to advance. So as we continue on, it gets more and more important to end up high in these tournaments. And after today, we will know exactly what teams will need to do on Saturday in order to qualify for that professionals tournament. So with that in mind, I'm going to actually look at the tournament thingy. And I'll take away the preview so that you see it too. Basically, the chart for tonight, there are 19 teams. They're all together in one group. And as per usual, that means that the first match, K doesn't play. So our first match is actually in 40 minutes. That is something that we've seen happen quite a bit. But that means that I will be showing you some epic replays before then. And that, I suppose, isn't all that bad either. Because with an update very likely happening next week, because then there's no tournament games. So it would be a way for Wargaming to launch the update without and having time to fix the bugs that come with it before the actual professionals tournament begins. But it also means that all the replays will be gone. So I think it's a very good thing that we that sounds wrong. So in that way, I don't mind having an extra half hour to show you some replays because I keep getting some really epic games and I kind of want to show them all. So I'm going to take this away. In the meantime, I am waiting for YouTube to catch up with me so that I know, so that I can activate the stream on YouTube as well. And that will make it a lot more easy to just focus on the games. In the meantime, you see that I put my Chrysler K out for inspection. This is actually a tank. I hate it and I love it. It depends entirely on what kind of day I'm having, on whether or not I do good in it. I do really love the Tomahawk camouflage that it has. Not so much a fan of the flag, but that aside, I do like the whole Indian thing that is going here. I actually can't remember the word right now. We call it a hat dress, something like that in Dutch, quite literally translated. But I'm really sure that that is not the official English term, but I can't brain anymore, so yeah. If I think of it later, I will probably go back to this subject. But overall, it is a fun tank. It has a very weak lower plate, but it can side scrape like no tomorrow, and it can be quite evil. So in that way, it is a very fun tank to drive. I haven't really driven it all that much anymore. I kind of need to do it again, especially now that it's actually in the store again. But if you are a fan of rear turret tanks, then this is probably a tank that you will like. That's also the reason why I love it and I hate it. I don't always work well with rear mounted turrets. It's not really my thing, and that makes it quite hard for me to get used to it, because it will take me some time before I do good in it, and it will take me like 10 to 15 battles at times. That's mainly why I don't drive it all that much. But it's the same for me for the 215B and for the Mouse and all the other rear mounted turret tanks. I will have periods where I just drive only that, because then I know that I will get used to that kind of playstyle, and that will work for me then. But that's the tricky part. But if you like rear mounted turrets, you will probably like the Chrysler K as well. So keep that in mind when you're looking at whether or not to buy this tank. I'll have a look at what sells in the store in a little bit, because we have plenty of time to go over these kind of things, even though it is quite useless. And yeah, in the meantime, I've activated YouTube, so the stream should be catching on quite quickly. Here we go. So then I can pause it so that it won't actually be like double sounds, because you would hear the stream in the stream, and that would be like streamception, maybe? I don't know. So with that, let's have a look. See, the other one that is in the store is the IS-2-ish. I always call it that, even though that's not technically what you should call it. And let's have a look. Where is it? It's actually this one. This is again one of the tanks. If you love rear-mounted turret tanks, it is okay. I'm not a fan of it. I don't think it's really competitive for its tier. Definitely not compared to the Chrysler. But it is okay. And if you like the general IS-2 and the IS tanks, you will probably not hate this either. But yeah, Chrysler K for me is a lot better than this. And I wasn't a fan of the IS-2, this one, either. Or of the regular IS tanks. So I'm not a big fan of it. But yeah, that's mainly my assessment of the tanks that are in the store right now. And now I'm going to actually find you a nice little replay to show you. Because we have half an hour before we actually get some gameplay. So let me go to the channel that I need to be in for this. Because I got some really fun ones. Just scrolling up to see. I have a really nice one in the Batchat, so I'm going to start with that. I'm a big fan of the Batchat. It's one of my favorite tanks. It's a tank that is just... it's quirky a little bit, and it's a little bit evil. In the meantime, I'm wondering why it isn't showing my... there you go. It was being a bit evil. It wasn't showing me the replay that I downloaded. That is useless. But here we go with our first little replay. And look at that, it's so tiny. Oh, thank you so much, that is so sweet of you. Someone just made a donation, that is really, really sweet. Thank you. And we've barely even started. This is also one of the tier 10 tanks with the legendary camo that I actually like. For the French, I don't like most of them. But this one, it actually fits. Mainly also because it's such a tiny little thing, this. And I like that he's like waiting here to see if anyone else arrives. But no one seems to be there. He's just going for a quick glance more advanced. Leaving the base to his team. And this is actually quite cheeky what he's doing. Going all the way to the spawn already. And his team is going to Camp C. And he's just like here undetected. Well, you might just meet some TDs here. There you go. This is not a TD. This is called a medium. This is not called camp at the back place. And he gets a clip in. And now he just has to wait. He can... ooh, he has a frenemy with him. And I think he just needs to like focus. Oh, he has a friend as well, so that helps. And that was a lovely little miss by Leo. And he should have really HE'd that. Because he could have. And he could have HE'd that as well. So now the E50M is almost reloaded and that is the end of the Leo. But their enemy team has 2 bases now. There's TDs coming. You don't want to get shot by the waffle when you're in a Batchat. But he did just fire now. And now he could have actually just focused primarily on the E50. And they have another friend that is arriving. And now our guy is reloading his clip. The E50 is miraculously vanished. He's using the waffle as armor. But he has to be careful here now. Oh, that pounce though. That is... sorry, I have to say, that is luck. That is nothing else but luck. There goes another one, and it is now 5 versus 3, but the enemy has 2 bases, and that makes it a little bit tricky. but it doesn't have to be a big problem. Ooh, unless you, of course, run into a Moiskin on your own. We are already at 4k damage in for the Batchat, and that goes up quickly when you set someone on fire. Fosh is coming, and the Batchat is like, yeah, nope, let's not be here. Which I think is a very good call, because, well, the Fosh is very OP these days. So now just going to go for the Moiskin. Ooh, that is inexpensive. Ooh. Not when he's sort of, he's not AFK, but he's not like... There you go, nicely done. We are 5k damage in, but we are at 800 points. So we have to be careful. He's actually abandoning the Fosh, which I think is a good call. I'm going to cap the base. And probably steal a kill. There we go. Fosh is looking at him, but he misses. He gets 2 more shots in, then has to reload. Base has been capped. They are relatively safe with only 1 tank left to tank out. But it will still be tricky. But he has a full clip now. And the Fosh misses! And that is costing him the game. Ooh, and that was a kill steal. But 6.5k damage into it. That is really not bad at all. So that is the first game of the games I have to show you off. 1556 base XP. Not many victory points earned, but the damage is phenomenal. Lovely game. Evil little tank, I love it. So with that in mind, let me find you another... Like I said, I have quite a few. I actually also... let me find it. I have 2 lovely R2K replays where I'm also going to show you, of course. Thing is, a lot of people are still asking about the whole coins thing. That comes with September 21st. When the professionals tournament begins, that is when streams are gonna give you stuff. AMAX 50 game on mines. We don't see mines all that often. It's not a tournament map because it's not supremacy. It used to be, but they kind of cancelled that. And there is that lovely camo again. I love that camo. It's very American flag-like, but it looks so good though. I kind of agree. They have the mad advantage, so they should be able to take the hill. They just need to take the hill before they get shot by the Death Star going up to the hill. And that will be a very sad D62A very soon. Oh my god, that guy. He is a Neanderthal. That's not how you spell it, but it goes... It says a lot. I am getting some questions in the chat, so I might be a tiny bit distracted. But now we are on the second clip, and he's just unloading the clip into that poor chieftain. Tracking him. And then pulling back, because the turret of an AMX is quite juicy for most tanks. And I think he's going to take out Chief. He might take a shot for it. Oh, no, that was actually a bounce. That wasn't. But if you... Ooh, that's another clipper. But that's another bounce, so that's good. We know now, though, that the... I think it's the... It's another AMX that is on the other side. That they are camping in their spawn. So Zerd decides not to peek out anymore there, because now he's being focused there too much. So, ooh, that is not the way you want to do it. I kind of have to give him some space. There you go, that will be the end of the VK now. Ooh! Okay, it is the end of the VK, but that was a weird little shot. So now the AMX is rushing. Oh, it's a T-57 Heavy. They look so just like the little tiny thingies. And Zerd is going back towards the hill, wanting to take out some tanks, and the T-57 Heavy is definitely on... When he shows himself like that, he's definitely gonna get it. And he might still get a shot in, but not before. Yeah, now he's that. Oh, we are 5.1k damage in. There goes the waffle. And there's only another waffle. And a DS left. Waffle moving in. But he's not going to survive this encounter with an AMX. And this is wise, because Zerd just switched to APCR. Gets another shot in there, 6.2k damage. And there he goes. Lovely fast-paced game, really. $1,545 basic XP. Great game. No assist... Well, he did spot people, but no assisted damage. A few little bounces that were very helpful. This, like, the clip reload of the AMX just seems pretty fast, and that's one of the reasons why I kind of want it. At the same time, I'm a very lazy grinder. I'm not looking forward to actually getting that line. So it might be a long time before I actually get it. So let's see. I also have a other cheeky RTK game by Spacey. Spacey, the guy that kept blocking Zerd shots on last Tuesday. Until Zerd ran away, kept the base and kept spamming help. They were trolling just a little bit. But oh my god, that was a funny day though. Just replying in the chat. This is the thing though. Yes, whatever. Red balloons, yes. That's an It's reference, I have a feeling. So, Space is going towards the middle. This is another tank that is really underappreciated by me. I'm not that big a fan of the British tanks. They just don't seem to suit my playstyle, with the Chieftain MK6 being pretty much the exception. Ooh, T62, just don't just stand there, honestly. And he's waiting for shots. He has been spotted now, though, so we know that there's someone on the other side of him. Even though he doesn't see them yet. And he kind of has to... There you go. That helps. Nice little bounce, too. And he's carrying a lot of hash. It is, to be fair, British tanks that have taught me to love hash. And I kind of need to get used to hash more. Vic, these aren't my games. These are replays. I can't play PC to save my life, so I want to avoid... Ooh. Ooh, look at that juicy... That... That helps. Oh wow, that Leo. What does he think he's accomplishing with this? Now he's in a bit of trouble though. He kinda has to focus on this guy and get him out of the way fast. But now the Jagdtiger is doomed. Very doomed. And there it goes. And now we have a T-57 Heavy. That is also very doomed. And there he goes. But we are 4.1k damage in. And it is 4 versus 3. They should have this, but it can be quite tricky. Especially because the enemy has quite an advantage on points already. So you kind of want to have to... There There you go. Nice little hash. This is what I mean. You can't play British tanks without hashing. And that's something that I'm not quite good at. I'm not a big fan of derp. And he kind of needs to make a move. Well, not necessarily. There's no actual rush yet. But with people repositioning, base B being kept, that will definitely help them. 5k damage in. This Leo 1 is very unhappy. Nice little tracking shot. That is lovely in a place like that. E50 missed. And he can be hashed in a one shot. With a bit of luck. For our Spacey. And there he goes. We are at 5.8k damage. And there's only one very juicy Leo left. Thing is that he's not carrying any HE, and that's everything to do with Hash has just HE with more pen. Chieftain MK6 also being quite a charmer. Now he just has to be careful. Ooh, that is a nice bounce. And look at this, he can hash him from the front. And now she's not even bothering with that. Ooh, but there he goes. Thing is, if you can get a certain kill with APCR, it's best not to use HE for it. Because you never know whether you can just derp and hit the gun or it being absorbed by the tracks. So you never know. 1641 base XP, 6.890 damage. A little bit of assisted damage with the ammo rack and a little bit before. Lovely game as well. I like. So let's have a look, see what else we have for you. I have a nice little replay from Maddox. Some of the replays I might be showing off on Saturday as well. It kind of depends on how many new ones I get. But you'll survive it. And we still have a bit of time before we actually enter the tournament matches. So let's see what Maddox does in a so not OP tank, and I mean that in my best possible sarcasm. To be fair, when you get it in randoms and it's not played by a Unicum, it is an OP. But when it is played by a Unicum, and especially when it's played in tournaments by Unicums, the tank can be plain evil. So let's have a look-see. This is one of those, part of me wanted the attachment and the other part didn't. Because I don't like the little flag, but the badge does look so good. But I didn't get it in the end on my own. I do have the camo though. But at the moment there are a few camos where I'm like, I don't really like them as legendary camos. So I might just switch them out. One grill has been spotted. But that's the only enemy tank that we see just yet. Thing is that this is also something. You see that tree in the background? It is a good thing to look for cover because that tree at some point can fall when someone drives through it. And then you know that there's someone there. No, you can't shoot him. Now you can. Cheeky shot, grill now in trouble. Grill in, not when he's staying like that though. That is helpful. But the grill is going to be rushed now. So he will definitely be in trouble. Base C being kept. There's a wall there. Grill retreating. And he has friends now. AMX 30B there. Chieftain is gonna go. 30B is gonna like, oh shit. What did I get myself into? And the enemy team is rushing, but our T-22 is actually rushing towards the right side. And that is definitely helpful, because he can just shoot him now without much worry, because the FV will be the primary target. There goes the FV. But he has to be careful versus 2/4 tanks. He will get some bounces, but he's not exactly invincible. But this is what I mean. Look at the bounces that he's getting. It's like, this shouldn't bounce. And the grills are luckily gone the other way, because that makes all the difference. Now he's in a little bit of trouble. But one tank is almost out of the equation. And his gun is damaged. That does not help matters. And that bounce does not help matters. I can't believe he's still alive. At this point, he really should not be. Look at this. Reverse side scraping on the corpse. And getting away with it. That is ridiculous, guys. Ooh, that was mere luck than anything else. And I think it's a good call that he's running away while he can. Because he has a broken gun. And he has broken tracks. And it would be good for him to fix that. But it goes to show how so not OP this tank is, doesn't it? And he's just still shooting the guy. I kind of feel for the guy. He's in so much trouble now. There he goes. He's been deleted. Now we just have one lone grill. Yeah, I kind of second that sentiment. And there's a full HP grill. And he bounces that as well. That is ridiculous. That is an ace with a steel wall. Of course it is. 1501 base XP, 120 supremacy points based on kills. But oh my god. All those bounces. Seriously, let's see. It's technically 6 bounces, but a lot of bounces did only module damage and no actually HP damage. So that is saying a lot as well. So I have time for at least one more. Ew. Oh, this is even worse, honestly. I'm going to show you this as well. And I'll probably be showing them off on Saturday on the Asia stream. For sure. Because they're Asian players, so I like showing people off on their own server. But in this case, it kind of just like re-emphasizes what I've just been saying. Because again, we are following a T-22. But this one does not have defensive camo. And it looks quite dull without it, doesn't it? Doesn't look nearly as dangerous as it did. Yes, shoot the rock. In the meantime, we have quite a few viewers. Hello, everyone. There's a 5-minute delay on the stream, so anything that you say in chat that I might respond to, I will be responding to 5 minutes late. Just so you know. That is one reason why it's generally not very productive for me to respond to it. But yeah. In the meantime, I'm also going to give a very cheeky plug. Look at this. He's facing 2 tanks from 2 different sides. And now he's just crossing on over to see if he can murder this Batchat. And if he tracks him, that definitely helps. And if he can perma-track him, then all the better. Because I don't think this guy has any fix-it kits left. Force now arriving. This is bullying. I think this equals on bullying. Just look at this. The poor Batchat. That is just so mean. I like it, but it's also really mean. He knew that that was gonna bounce, though. E50M arriving. So let's just start shooting him then. Yeah, you kind of have to be careful where you are. You have a lot of enemies around you. E100s that dig you. That are completely ignoring you because they want your one-shot force teammate. And they take out the grill together. But this is a good thing. That is one E100 out of the way. That's like free damage. TD driving away. E100 coming and bouncing. So then we just start like tracking the E100. Circling the E100. Side hugging the E100. But not doing any damage. So that's not really useful either. Even with heat. So you need... This is the part where I feel like you have to be in sniper mode to make sure that you do the damage that you want. And another bounce. We are 4k damage in. And he is steadily eating up tanks still. And it doesn't even look like that difficult a game, does it? That's the weirdest thing. And now he's perma-tracking the E100. Oh, you're such a bully, but I heartily approve. I love that you're playing like this. That was again a shot that you didn't need though, because you knew that was not gonna pen. But now you have a juicy grill that you shoot the gun off, and that you shoot the track off. And now you have a grill that is bouncing on you, and now the grill is dead. Now you're getting bum hugged by an E50M. That is actually penning you. But he's the last one left alive. We are at 6.4k damage. But whereas you are bouncing on him, he's not even trying to shoot you now. Okay, now he actually did some damage. And there we go. That is the end of the E50M. And we are at 7.2k damage. Like I said, he made it look so easy though. That's just so bad. That perma-tracking off the poor Batchat and then the E100. That was so mean. 1939 basic speed, that says a lot. He spotted all 7 enemies. No assisted damage, but he spotted all of them. Quite a few bounces. Imagine how much his damage would have been if those shots hadn't bounced though. That would have been way worse. Well, so to speak. Great game. That's the kind of the perfect combination of potatoes on your team and potatoes on the other team that you need for an epic ace combination. So yeah, we have about 5 minutes-ish to go before the room invite is up, so I'm not going to be showing you another replay, so we can admire what else is in the store. Maybe I can go over that for you. Oh, we have the 215U there, of course. That is this monster. This monster looks quite good. It is very, very troll, but it's not just the tank armor that is troll, it's also the gun that is troll. So your biggest strength is your troll armor, your biggest weakness is your very troll gun. It is relatively easy to bounce shots in it, but it's also relatively easy to have your shots bounce. So that is something that I have a love and hate relationship with this tank. Because of that. But it is a fun tank, I quite enjoy it. I'm glad I have it on my main account. But yeah, Chrysler K is fun. But that being said, I'm going to have this one show up. Look, I love this badge, I love this camo, it makes it look just rough, like a bad boy. Ooh! The clan icons have been removed from the flags there, do you see? It's no longer there. That is interesting. But yeah, in a few minutes we will have a room invite. And I'll actually grab the shot with it, because we are starting off against Unwon. We've seen them earlier. They're a good clan. They created really fun games. And let's have a look, see what maps we will be starting on. Dynasty Sprawl and Faust. I do hope that they take these Dynasty Sprawl battles a little bit more seriously than earlier this week. Because then we saw them take 7 TDs, and at some point they were up against a team with 5 mice, and then they took like 5 Jaegers. So it's been interesting, let's put it that way. This, by the way, for those that are watching, is my press account. This is not actually my main account. I don't have, well, I have a lot of these tanks, but I don't have all these tanks. I don't have that much gold on my main account. I have more credits on my main account, actually, but I don't have that much free XP on my main account either. It's a press account, so it's mainly meant for testing tanks. The reason that I use it for streaming is the fact that it can't be found. You can look at this, you can look for this name, and you won't be able to find it. You can't send me messages and invites and all of that. And by all means, send them to my main account. I don't mind at all. But while you're streaming, it is nice not to be interrupted. So that is why I stream these tournaments on my press account. In the meantime, just checking if everything is holding. It looks to be holding quite nicely. And we have 88 people watching right now. At least you hear this 5 minutes later. So that could be different then. But that is just epic, and I really hope that you guys will enjoy what I give and the way I commentate for you guys. I adore commentating. I love it mainly because it's sort of like you have a front row seat to an epic boxing match, and you actually get to talk about it, and people want to listen. I never understand that, but I really enjoy doing it. I mean, it's probably a woman thing. I do love just talking about everything because, well, that is what as women do. But it's fun, and I've been following R2K for several seasons now, so I'm relatively familiar with their playstyle and several of their players. And even though there's been a lot of changes in the EU competitive scene, there's a room invite, let's go. Even though it's been relatively changing and players have changed clans and all of that, the team captain is still the same from R2K. The one Mo is always there. There's a few people that have been back and forth between other clans and coming back then to R2K. So I can't say I know these guys, but I know more of them. And I like to follow them. I think it's enjoyable because I'm more familiar with their playstyle and the kind of things that they do and what they're capable of. They went to Mobile Masters last year, which was the spring season offline event, basically. And they've always been highly competitive. And I really respect that in them, but also in the other competitive clans. I love it. It's just so much fun. And for me, I can't participate in a competitive game. I don't have the time to do all the trainings that will be needed for it and all of that. But I do really enjoy watching it, and this kind of combines that for me. But yeah, let's focus on the games that we will be having. We are going to the panda map. You have the head of the panda with base A in the forehead, the chest of the panda with base B in the middle, and then base C in the belly. You have paws and everything. This is the panda map. And in this case, base C is considered the mat base, base A is considered a heavy base, base B is considered the I'm very hard to cap base. But if you do get it, if you get a cheeky early cap, it will be very hard for the enemies to steal it from you. And it's also been kind of the push base, because we've seen so many pushes that happen where people grab base B and then push onwards from there, getting that base, getting that point advantage. It makes very, very cool cool games. The map is relatively small. That's one of the things I dislike about it. But overall, it is a good tournament map, I believe. I think it's quite a funny tournament map for pretty unique heavy lineups that you wouldn't really see in other ones, in other maps. Like for now, we see that there's a potential DS on R2K side. And we see some heavy lineups on one side. I'll go over that in a little bit. But basically, we see general concentration of players either around A or around C. And B is more like super heavies will be hovering around there in the area just above base B. Mainly to just hold it, to avoid other people capping it. And it's something that it made the map a little bit predictable. But there have been such good games on it, so yeah, that's definitely something. So I will take away the map for you guys so that I won't be blocking your screen. And we see that On1 has completely readied up with 3 IS-4s, a Mouse, an E3, a Batchat and a Foch. So that is relatively little heavy lineup, so to speak. And we see... Actually, it's all the IS-4s, but I mean like the super heavies as in the Mouse and the Jaegers, that kind of stuff. And we now see RTK having 2 spectators, and they've gone for a Mouse, a 2 215Bs, a T22 medium, 2 Object 140s and a T57 heavy. So that's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. Again, it's a very relatively mobile lineup. No actual big guns, no Foches, but they do have a Clipper. And they do have a Mouse to hold, so it will be fun to see what they do with this. So in 43 seconds we get to go to the first match of the evening. The first actual tournament match, I should say. Because I have been showing you matches, but you know what I mean. And then we get to see what happens. Like I said, there's a lot riding on tonight. Because tonight and Saturday will, for definite... show us the lineup for the professionals tournament. This voice, by the way, belongs to... This voice belongs to me. I'm Aminet85. I do play this game, so yeah, I suppose that makes me a gamer girl. But here we go. Let's have a look, see what they do with this lineup. And where they go. Lovely camos. Zerd and Mo showing off their mobile moss. It's not actually, I think it's the fan crates from last year. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. Enemy team greeting us on YouTube. So let's go up and away. And see what they do with this. RTK mainly focusing on the A side, the enemy team as well. The T22 medium is going towards the middle. He and the Batchat might be spotting each other soon. There we go, IS-4 has been spotted, but he's the only one, but no party without me has been spotted as well. But they kind of know now that there will be a tanks here. The money dude running off. Base C completely unprotected. We now see just action around base A really. But people are just waiting. Zerd taking a little bit of a hit there. Not managing to hit back, but he takes another hit as he pulls back. No party without me getting fired at. And he's steadily just spotting everyone. Now he does get a shot in, but he takes another one back as well. Zerd losing way too much HP for this. And no party without me takes quite a big hit there. And we see at the back Spacey and Wiser not capping a base, but moving to gap behind, and they will find the money dude on his own. And I'm mainly focusing showing you this, because the Batchat will now be eaten alive. Though he will run off. He's losing a lot of HP doing that, and Zerd is losing more HP as well. And now the money dude is retreating. And we have On1 that is pushing. Gassio losing a ton of HP. The object's moving in. And they have to take out tanks quickly. The Foch is losing a lot of HP, but is still alive. Zerd being almost gone now. They're not even trying to cap the base. And they kind of need to just make it happen. Oh, that was a big hit into Spacey. We have a lot of one-shots around. Shapey's just been taken out. The mouse is not going to survive much longer. He's going to be dead with Spacey's next reload. There he goes, with a flying turret that falls off behind. Zerd goes. Mr. K-Babu is gone. Massive is just been deleted. But it really could have gone either way. When you look at the fact that there's just so many low HP targets. The money dude running off. Wise losing a bit of HP. Gassio being a one-shot. There he goes. And there it's now 4 versus 3. Ooh, but look at the HP just vanishing. And there he goes, no party without me, but the E3 goes as well. And it is 2 versus 3. But Money Dude is so low on HP. He's going to be dead soon. I'm really surprised he's still alive, mainly. He did really well surviving this far. And there he goes. Spacey almost gone, but we have one lone IS-4 versus 3. He is tracked and he is gone before you can take out Spacey. And the first game is for RTK, and it didn't really look like it was gonna be that way, to be honest. With the way that Zerd just kept losing HP steadily but slowly. And look at the difference in damage. It's not that far from each other, really. It was a pretty close game. But I think in the end, because Unwan pushed into RTK, RTK sort of could push back, and they, with the objects, created sort of pincer movement. So with that in mind, we are getting ready for the second game. And that will start in just over a minute. Unwan getting ready, RTK now completely ready. Or not, they're changing things. And we have Unwan ready with a mouse, 3 IS-4s, an E3, a T22 medium and a 215B. Versus a mouse, 2 object 140s, a T22 medium, 2 215Bs and a 268. And especially the 215Bs are so strong now with the new consumables. It's always been a strong tank, but it's been really competitive again with those new consumables. So let's have a look, see what they do in about 30 seconds. And I'm wondering what will happen. Because it was a pretty close game just now. So anything goes. But like I said, I think it's very vital what happens tonight regarding the points and all of that. Opposition will not be easy because there's only one group for the EU server. And here we go. Again with the pretty camouflage. And there's my soon-to-be that tank. And here we go, up and away. And we see that RTK is focusing primarily on A again, but now with speed boost and all, Unwan is going to the other side. No party without me. Not going on the C side, more going towards the middle. And RTK is focusing on A. No party without me and the money dudes spotting each other. E3 has been spotted as well. They know on which side Unwan is now. Especially if they drive into C, which they do. Which sort of means that RTK is free to cap a base as well. And they will kind of need to, because you don't want to get the lefty enemy team have too much of an advantage. Zerd in the mouse again. Base C has been spotted. Base A is now getting spotted, but it's getting capped. Sorry, not spotted, capped. It's getting capped very quickly. And the point advantage is about 1 tank. No party without me, careful. Because they're just waiting for him to peek out. There's no real line of fire possible. 140 has been spotted. Not sure by who though. It's a bit of a weird place to be spotted in, Gassio. And we have R2K sort of spread out. With Zerd going towards the middle. But you have to be careful. You can't really side scrape off it like you would facing base B. Because they don't know that the E3 has pulled back a little bit. And we have Massive in the mouse behind there. The money dude holding at the spawn, not wanting to get flanked like they did in the last time with the Batchat. Which could be a good reason why he's now driving a T22 rather than a Batchat. Let's have a look. Not much happening. R2K together in their spawn. And they've basically... They're holding. The 215Bs are already at A if need be. Zerd in the mouse. Object 140 passed by. The rest has not been spotted. And that is funny. Because they know there's an object there somewhere. But they don't know for the rest. Zerd making a move. Potentially, but not going in. Mainly capping. Shapey keeping a tight watch on who is there. Blind shot by Yaiko. And we are a bit of a stalemate now. 215Bs having pushed to the other side. Zerd being the primary troll target right now. And they can't really do much. I mean, the moment that they do something, the gig is up, basically. And the only one that keeps getting spotted is Zerd. But R2K will have to do something. They can't just wait forever. Well, technically they could potentially do that, but that would mean that on1 wins. So what are they going to do? So taking some damage now. Gassio crossing over. Space is still hidden though. And we see that on1 is reacting by pulling back together. They're now rushing Zerd. They are capping the base. And R2K will have to move now or lose. Zerd can't really decap on his own. 215Bs are arriving. They're going to try and take out the T22. R2K rushing in. Zerd is basically going to the slaughter. He's not going to survive this. But the question is, how much HP would it cost on1 to do this? They don't have all that much time. They need to take the base. They need to take the kills. There goes Yaiko. There goes the money dude. The T22 has been taken care of. And HP wise, C is now being kept. But they have to be careful with that. They need the advantage. They need to get it back. Big hit into Shapey there. Shapey, look at this focus fire. Shapey's just being murdered. R2K took it back. They took the base. And even though there will be people that die with the kill of Massive, R2K has the game. And again, it was a pretty close call. But they... Zerd, Peter. But they pushed very well. Used Zerd as troll bait, basically. And it worked out really well for them. Look at the difference in damage that has been done. And that is just that pincer movement. The 215B is heading for the T22A. The rest of the Mets and Spacey heading more behind. Getting shots into everyone that was cluttered together to try and get Zerd. Wow. Okay. That does look fancy though. Is that on here as well? Let's have a look. Look at this. That can look really good on a few tanks, I imagine. Not on this one, but it can look good on a really on several tanks, I think. In the meantime, we have 98 watches, so thank you for that. That is amazing. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And that was the first matchup that has ended. Let's have a look, see what the chart is saying. I'm going to update that. Next up, we have RTK versus Loka. So that's definitely going to be interesting. And for the rest, we don't know the opponents yet. But Karna is through and EG is through. I would expect the Ray to go through and potentially Inf or first. Navin or Win. And it's Imor or Tercios Españoles. So that's going to be interesting to see as well. Let's have a look, see what map we are going to go to. Waiting for it to load because that would generally be helpful. There we go. Winter Malinovka. And then a potential tiebreaker on Naval Frontier. Winter Malinovka. Interesting map. I'm not that big a fan of it. I like the old version better. I miss a lot of the old version maps, to be honest. They were so much fun. But yeah, this is what it looks like. It has... Actually, no. I'm going to not do that yet. I'll do that when we have the room. In the meantime, we have... Let's have a look, see. This is something... My memory is so bad right now. I just need to go here to check the chart to make sure that I know what time we are starting at. I think it's 9:04, which will appear like 8:04 on here. And again, it would help if it loads, yeah, 8:04. So that means that I have about 15 minutes, which is at least 2 replays. So let's go back to that and have a look-see. What we have for you. Ooh, this is interesting. It's a raiding battle. I don't get many of those. I think I mainly don't get many of those because I think aces might be more difficult to get in raiding. So here we go, let's have a look-see. Bush full of bacon. He definitely, I like his name. I'm a big fan of bacon. I'm a firm believer in the religion of bacon, which means that everything is better with bacon, even bacon. He wants to go to C. Or at least he wants the team to get C. That looks weird. It has eyes! Oh my god, I'm going to take a look at this tank afterwards. Look, it has a face on the back of the turret. Oh my god, that Rudy! Oh, poor Rudy. Yeah, I don't think he's happy. I'm not sure what he's saying, but I'm pretty sure it involves a lot of salt. But there's no one else here, so he kind of has to find another target now. And the damage that he did with the ammo rack, he loses in DPM because there's no other targets here. So let's have a look what happens. It is 5 versus 5. Anything can happen, and he can just not shoot that guy. Oh, now he can. This is something I never understand. The fact that people zoom out just before the shoot. It actually throws off your aim when you do that. So don't zoom out unless you are ready to actually zoom out and have fired, basically. There you go. That face on the back of the turret, though. It has eyes and a smile and everything. The IS is in a lot of trouble. He kind of needs to move, and now he finally does. Premo, shoot Premo. Oh, look, okay. That works as well. Look at the face, though. I can't get over that. Pramo, you can't shoot him like that. I generally carry a lot of Primo, and it has everything to do with the fact that I don't want... I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, basically. Ooh, nice bounce. A very, very vital bounce at that. IS-3 is coming for you now. This is why you need more Primo. When you're up against tanks like this, you want to make sure that you actually... There you go. That you are certain that you will pen them. I actually can't show my face like rolling because A, I don't have a webcam that is suitable for that. B, I don't have a green screen. And now it is 3 versus 2. Yeah. It was 4 versus 2, but yeah. And now it is 2 versus 2, but pull back a little bit. There you go. 3.4k damage in. He's capping the base. That is not necessarily a bad thing. You can't shoot him there, but you can get behind him. And now he's rushing your T-43. And he does not have the HP to make this work. And even if he gets another shot in or two, this will definitely be their game. And if he gets the kill, then he has a top gun. Which generally helps towards aces, but 3.8k damage in a tier 7 is quite epic. Lovely game. Definitely lovely game. Imagine how much more XP you would have had if he had actually kept the base there as well. Ridiculous, but awesome. So the room, it will be there in about 7 minutes, which means that I can show you one more replay. And I am going to show you a tier 10 one. So let's have a quick look there to show off Wonderkind and Indigo. We saw another one of Indigo earlier. Great players, both of them. Weird little camo looking thing, but it does look funny. I like this tournament camo, to be fair. I like the blue one, not the orange one. Orange is not my favorite color in any way. Yellow is worse for me, but at least I like blue, so it looks kind of funny. And you see that they're coordinating as teammates. One of them heading more to the middle. And 103 having been spotted. The giant alien head. But he still bounces. This is not really a position you want to be in though, but that shot just penned even though it really shouldn't have. And they're just like, let's not stay here. Let's go the other way. AMX having been spotted. This is why also sniper mode. It does pen though, so he's quite lucky there. The Waffle is on his own. And they're ignoring him to slowly take out that AMX. 666 damage together. Says a lot. Giant alien head bouncing again. T-49 arriving. And Indigo is driving one of my favorite tanks. I absolutely love the AMX Proto. So now they're just going to rush the T-49 together, which I think is a good call. Because if that thing does... Ooh, that's the end of the T-49. If that thing does hit you, it can hurt very, very badly. Nice bounce on the Proto. I like this. This is truly a teamwork game. Oh, he's still alive. But there he goes. And now we have the Super Pershing to contend with. And now the Patton is playing primary target. Which is helpful, because his teammate isn't doing too good. And he's just leaving to save his teammate, which does not want to be saved because he's dead now. Well, he probably wanted to be saved, but it didn't work. And finally, the M103 is taking some damage. There we go. And there goes the Patton, and now the STI is the only one left. And he really wants Indigo, because Indigo is a one-shot. And Wunderkind rather isn't. The thing is, for every shot that he takes... Lol. Thing is though, it's a resource in the game. It's available to you. And he's actually saving his teammate. I quite like that. And I wonder if... Oh, I was just gonna say, I wonder if they're gonna let him have the kill. But they don't. Or at least the Waffle doesn't. Oh, Faroon just said, I only carry 4 Premo rounds. Maybe a couple more if the pen is really bad. Don't spam Premo, use scrubs. I fully disagree with that. If Premo helps me pen people easier, and if it makes... if it ensures me that my shots will actually pen, then I will definitely use all the Premo that I want to make sure that I do the maximum amount of damage. So yeah, I disagree with that. Use all the Premo that you want. It will do a little bit less damage, but it will make sure your shots are more effective. So in the meantime, I'm just having a look at the chat. Room invite will be up relatively shortly. So we are just going to wait for that. And in the meantime, I'm going to see what some Russian players said on my stream. Because I can't speak Russian, so I have no idea what you're saying when you do that. But because I'm streaming, everything else is slow, really. But yeah, everything else seems to be going quite nicely. I really like that. Smooth stream. I'm all for that. I can't show you the charts, but I can tell you that... Actually, I can show you a little bit of the chart. This is what the top group looks like. These are the 8 clans that are left. RTK, Imor, Karna, EG, Win, First, Loka and Raid. So that means that Navin has been knocked out for the night. And the matchups that we are going to get is RTK versus Loka on Win Malinovka, as I showed you. We have Raid versus First, Karna versus Win, and EG versus Imor. So after that, if we go through, we it's gonna be pretty epic tonight, like I said. But yeah, Navin got knocked out. They've played pretty consistently, pretty good so far, and I don't think this endangers their position for the professionals, because they're currently 3rd place. So I think they should be okay, but I don't think there will be many changes more to the cup standing that we have right now. And there is a... Ooh, no, that's not what I wanted. I want to go here. So R2K versus Loka on Winter Malinovka. And now I am actually going to show you the map that looks like this. You have base A, which is considered the map base. Base C, that is considered the heavy base. Base B, that is pretty much the whatever you want base. Overall, it is easier to dominate B and C together, but it's difficult to cap them. And A, depending on who is there, can be relatively easily capped. It is a very tricky map because of that, because it's so dependent on where the teams go, really. And it's the same on every map, but on some maps it is more important because there's so many lines of fire into the bases. You can't really cap any base in peace without lines of fire from the enemy side. So that makes it very, very tricky. It also makes it one of the more interesting maps, but I did like the old map a lot more. So it will be great to see what they do on this map and where they go with the lineups that they will use. Because the thing is that I can make all the predictions that I want. I can show you all the positions that I prefer to play in that are strong and all of that. But the thing is that they're a team. Regardless of what lineup they use, whether it's super heavy or super fast or anything, they can just go wherever they want because they are a team. They can build on each other. They will have positions that are mainly building up on each other and backing each other up and all of that. So it is very useless to predict what you expect people to do, because there's almost no map that is so predictable that you can say they will go that way. I think that we will see a bit of a spread where every base is not necessarily capped but covered from both sides. I expect to see a med heading towards base A, staying, not actually going into that, but going to one of the hills that you see northwest of A or southeast of A, where they will use the bush to see if anyone else is there. And if there are people there, they will likely turn around and go away. So that means that most of the action will happen around B and C. But that is my expectation. That is what I've noticed in most tournament battles. But like I said, anything can happen. Anything can go. So that is the map that we are starting on. I'm going to take it away so that it won't be blocking your screen. And we have Loka completely readied up now with 2 objects 140s, 2 215Bs, and IS-4, a Foch and a 263. YOLO Wagon we haven't seen much of these days. Mainly because the Foch is so overpowered right now. And they are going to go off... oh, and now it's been changed for a Foch, so I think he heard me. And they will go up against a Mouse, 2 AMX-50Bs, a T-22 medium, a 215B, an IS-4 and a 268. So that again, an interesting lineup. I wonder what they're gonna do with this. And I honestly can't wait to see, because this is what I love. These are the matches like at this time. I can't make any predictions. Of course, I have my favorites. But at the same time, Loka is the clan that I created like in 2015. Before we even had clans in the game. And in a way, even though I've long since left it and it's changed completely, it will always have a little place in my heart. So yeah. But we will see what happens in just over a minute. I don't follow R2K for no reason, of course. But it will definitely be interesting. Loka has been so strong this tournament so far. It's been absolutely lovely to see. And yeah. Just have a look. We have 50 seconds left. I'm going to have a quick look at the leaderboard. Loka is currently 4th. R2K is currently 7th. So even though it is relatively safe because not that many people managed to get tickets on Monday and Tuesday, both teams are not completely safe, but it does mean the pressure is more on R2K to get through than it is on Loka to get through. So in 15 seconds we get to go and see the first match on Winter Malinovka. We get to see what they're going to do. And we're going to have fun with it, I hope. Here we go. Love the double clippers. That can make things very, very interesting. But at the same time, it's always a risk to take clippers. And that way I'm very curious to see if the Brochetto of the, I name it the Spaghetti, will be competitive or not. I don't think it will be used, this twister, mainly because of the fact that it's new. No one has been able to actually train with it and know how it works on all the maps in tournament situations and all of that. So we have RTK focusing primarily on the B and C side. Loka doing the same thing with XX Project, overlooking to see what happens at base A. No Party Without Me stealthily approaching base B, and he's definitely going to try and cap it, and he might just get away with it too. Object 140 is heading towards base C. Ooh, Unicum just took a massive hit there. But so did the one Mo, he's been damaged quite a bit. No Party Without Me has the base. One of the AMXs, Wunderkind, just took some damage as well. Weiser has to be careful with the Object 140 there. No Party Without Me turning around. Unicum losing some HP steadily. Spacey taking a shot but not penning. The clip is moving towards the back. Ooh, but Wunderkind just lost a ton of health trying to do that. And that is very dangerous because now he's in trouble and he's gone. And now RTK kind of needs to make a move, and they need to make a move fast if they want this to work, because they already lost the gun and they're losing a ton of HP right now. Gassio in trouble, reloading his clip. He kind of needs to be careful. RTK in trouble, they are losing so much HP. There goes Gassio as well, they've lost 2 guns now. And there's too many low HP shots of Loka left alive. And it's taking them too much. And now it's actually Wise that is also gone. 3rd tank gone. And there go No Party Without Me and the one Mo at the same time. We are looking at a potential 7-0. Oh, not just because no skill just got, but yeah. 2 tanks gone on Loka's side, but Space is not going to win this 1 versus 5. And it was just, I think, too aggressive by RTK. They just went for it and it just didn't work out for them. What a very quick game that was. I think it didn't last long at all, actually. Let me have a quick look. Because we can see that. Just 2.5 minutes, not even. So that is a very quick game. And that means the pressure is definitely on RTK right now. Because it's much more vital for them to go through than it is for Loka with the place that they have in the Guts ratings right now. And with just over a minute left to go, both teams are still busy readying up, but we have time. They still have over a minute left, so yeah. Loka almost completely ready with a much more mobile lineup than they had. With 2 140s, an STB, 2 113s and 2 Foshes. And they're going to face off against 2 Batchats. 1, 2, potentially 3 113s, a 215B and a 268. So that can be very tricky. But things are still potentially changing on Loka's side. And this DPM lineup, especially since it's DPM and DPM. And those Foshes can be very, very dangerous. So I have a feeling that this will be a very quick game and that we will enter a brawl almost immediately. And that will be quite dangerous. So we have 2 140s, 2 Foshes, potentially 2 113s, there we go. And STB on Loka's side. And I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And let's see what happens. Dangerous lineup from both sides. And I wonder if they're going to play it more carefully. Because in this case, with the lineup that they have, they can just like sort of rush in a pack. That's exactly what Baron is wondering as well. And he got an answer, but it was on voice, so we haven't heard. Zerd going to overlook base A. But most of Loka is staying at the back. 113s have been spotted. Zerd pulling back. Base B is going to be capped. Base C is going to be capped. And it will be up to Loka to make a move. Base A is being capped now as well. But if R2K gets both bases, they will have the luxury of going into a holding position. But with so many lightly armored tanks, it will be quite difficult. The force is now moving. Ariana Grande, the only one that has been spotted. Now XS. They know that there are people arriving here. No skill, just Vano has been spotted as well. The teams are pretty spread out. Spacey turning around, no party without me holding at the back. And now they have the potential risk of being sort of locked down in a corner. At the same time, they are not in any position where they can be shot from the A side. So let's have a look. Unicum, they want him to spot left side. But R2K is all hauled up in the corner except for the Batchat. That is a bit more forwards. But this is potentially very dangerous gameplay. No skill. Slowly peeking. Why is it going to peek at the other side? Zerd having been spotted. And he needs to be careful there. Both taking a shot. Ooh, but Zerd is taking more shots. And he is pulling back. Base B is being stolen. And that can make all the difference. Spacey. Ooh, the 1-mo taking a massive hit there. And R2K let themselves be pushed in the corner. They let the Loka now basically take most of the map. And it will be very tricky for R2K to get this back somehow. Wunderkind taking a bit of damage. Yuriki taking a bit of damage, but not all that much. And he is rushing in with the full clip. Zerd pulling back wisely. Behrman losing a bit of damage, but he is not fast enough. Tanks will need to disappear in order for this to work. No skill, just being shot. We are at nearly 9. Well, technically speaking, they could have this if they all survive, but it will be very, very tricky. The 113 is moving in. Unicum, ooh, careful. There goes no skill, and we are at 990 points. If they just survive, and that is a tricky thing, R2K takes it home. But it is close. And them getting locked in the corner like that, I did not like that. Oh my god. That was too intense, but it worked out for them. And only one tank died, but it was the tank that made all the difference. Wow. What a game. So now we're gonna get a tiebreaker, and for the tiebreaker we're going to Naval Frontier. Naval Frontier looks like this. You have base A considered map base. Well, actually the other way. It's considered a heavy base, but I always see mats there. Base C considered that base. Base B in the middle. Very tricky to cap. Lots of lines of fire in most caps and most bases, depending on positions. But these teams all know where to be to shoot the bases and where to cap, so they can minimize the chances of being shot. So it will be very interesting to see what they do here, especially with the pressure definitely on for both teams now, because this is the tiebreaker. And that is the map that we will go to. I'm going to take it away. We have a minute left to go before we go into this tiebreaker. And we see that RTK has completely read up with a Batchat, 2 215Bs, a 113, another Batchat, an IS4 and a 268. And they're going to be up against 3 140s, 2 215Bs and 2 Foshes. So that is basically new meta. The only ones that we are missing is the T22 medium. But because of the lack of gun depression on that thing, it doesn't perform optimally on this map. So I understand the 140s being chosen here. So that is definitely exciting. I can't wait to see this. So we 15 seconds left to go. We are ready. Both teams are ready. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm just like nervous, stressed. No, I can't say stressed out because that's going a bit too far, but you know what I mean. And here we go. And it will be a tricky thing for both teams, for either team to take this home. And it will be all about mistakes, the team that makes the most mistakes here. And that makes it very tricky and dangerous gameplay. So here we go. Let's have a look-see, up and away. And we have Loka focusing primarily on the A side, together with one of the Foshes heading towards the known camper spot near base B. Blind shots happening. Batchat having been spotted. Batchat going for a very early and cheeky cap. Shots being fired. Both teams losing some HP. Wunderkind in kind of a tricky position. But base B being safely kept, or relatively safely, depending on what the Fosh is gonna do. But he gets it. And RTK and Loka will be facing off against each other, really. Base A now being kept. And I wonder if Wise is going to, or Zerd is going to take base C now. Because that can be very tricky, but they have a point advantage. And RTK is nicely spread out, but so is Loka. Wise now going for base C. But there's a Fosh that is steadily coming there, so he has to be very careful and ready to run like hell. We have the 140s turning around. Wise has been spotted. And it's like, get out of there now. And he might get away with it. Woo! He does get hit a little bit, but not as much as I would have feared. Base C now being stolen. Why is it being steadily destroyed? He needs to not be there. Zerd taking a shot. Wise should have capitalized on that and run away immediately, because he's now in trouble. Wise is gonna be... Ooh, Zerd also taking more damage. There goes Wise. And RTK will have to make a push here. They have to get base B. Zerd running off. Surviving. Baron going down. Being tracked. Losing a lot of HP. Base A being stolen. Base B being taken as well. This is a game of bases. And they kind of have to go for it. They're not... Ooh, the one Mo going down quite literally. Losing a ton of HP. Baron losing HP. They kind of have to. There he goes. But the one Mo is also gone. 140 now arriving. There goes Zerd. And I fear that this will be Loka's game. Look at this. Look at the HP just vanishing. There's a 2k HP advantage. There goes Unicum. There goes Wonderkind. It is 5 versus 3. And they are not in really good positions for this. There goes Cassio. No party without me on his own now. Spacey is still there. He kills off Karolek, but no party without me will be gone. And there he goes. And now it's just Spacey. And Loka is taking this home. There is no way for Spacey to win this. He will get another kill. He does do that. But we are 940 points. And he's not going to be able to get this many tanks out of the way in this little amount of time. He does get another nice shot in though. And we are at 1k points. And that is the end of it. And Loka goes through to the next round. And that makes it very interesting, because that means that R2K, I'm not sure, I think we're gonna get a battle for 3rd place, don't we? Actually, no, we are not. So that means that that is the end for R2K. That also means that it is the end of the stream for me. Because the fact that I'm attached to R2K means that if they got knocked out, then my stream ends. But if you go to the channel of Rolling Swarm, he is following AEG right now. And he will be getting some really epic games as well. Because he is still going, and he is going up against... Let's have a look-see. Against Karna, and that is definitely a match of the century. So definitely go and check him out. I think that is it for me. I'm going to wait a little bit to be sure, but I'm fairly sure that that is the end for me for tonight. But that means, cups-wise, that it can be relatively dangerous. Because you don't get the amount of cups that you want with this. At the same time, FBI is not getting any cups today. Because they're not here. So that can be a good thing for R2K. Navy got knocked out earlier, so that's also a difference. But it is a little bit challenging. So I'm just going to quickly check something. But I think that will be it for me tonight. So like I said, if you want to continue watching gameplay, go to Rolling Swarm's channel. I would love to show you more, but unfortunately I do not have the ability to do so. Because R2K got knocked out now. But it will be Raid versus Loka. I'm not sure if that's being streamed because Rip is doing other stuff, I believe. But we definitely have EG versus Karna on Rolling Swarm stream. So that will definitely be cool to watch. I'm probably heading over myself there to watch a few games. I'm just going to wait a little bit to make sure that I do not get a room invite. Just in case. Because I know that on the Asian server it was actually possible. But that was because when registration closed, the Wargaming office was still open. They could attach Brian to the stages rather than one team. But because registration closes so late for this, that is actually the reason why when a team is knocked out, we basically lose the stream and the gameplay. So that is not really something that we want. But there is no helping it now. So in the meantime, while we wait for a potential room invite, I will show you another replay. I showed you the pattern game. Let's have a look, see what else I have for you. This is a potentially nice one as well. It's tier 7, but still. So it's not as OP as it could potentially be. Or at least compared to tier 10. But we're going to have a look quickly. It would help if it actually opened. There we go. In the Type 62. That looks really nice with the dragon camouflage that he does not have. Last gun in this tank, what? And now he's just waiting to see if anyone is there. But it seems that most of the enemy team is on the other side. So they are moving in together, and they kind of have to get... Well, they don't have to. But it would help their team if they got base A and just put a little bit of pressure on. So that is what they are doing now. Ooh, Sue being pretty much deleted at the back there. That is a blind shot that is useless because they're behind the building. Base C now being capped. They could get a lot of damage in if they were to sort of arrive behind the enemy team. But they're playing a bit passively here. Shots being fired, quite literally, hehe. Ooh, that bounced though. Ooh, that tracking shot though. You kind of want to do damage at this point. There you go. And the enemy team has definitely spotted them. T28 turning towards them. That is not something that you generally want. Shooting the building does not help as well. IS-3 just completely focused on his teammate. Heat being needed to pen the IS-3, but it is a pretty heavily armored vehicle. Of course, you can't shoot heat at tracks. T28 arriving. That is a little bit tricky. You want to not be there. Not a tracking shot. Teammates blocking each other a little bit. But he is going down. Almost. His teammate is now gone. But there goes the IS-3. And now he just has to really avoid getting shot by the T28. So he can now do two things. He can either try and get behind the T28, or he can ignore him altogether and help his teammates. And this is helpful. Him not being able to turn. No, you can't. That is a nice bounce as well. T28 has his engine broken. He fixed it though. That bounce. But one more shot and that bounce as well. One more shot and he's out. There you go. And now it is 3 versus 2. Aiming helps in this case, but he's not really doing that. And shooting the wall does not help either. His teammate has... That bounce though. This is a light tank. He should not be able to bounce. Which makes it all the funnier when he does. There we go. Now it's just the IS-2 left. But you can take a few shots. And his reload is a lot more quicker than that of the IS-2. So if he can just get behind it. Or just track it. Or not even. He can take a full shot. Get 2 shots in. And kill him off. I wonder if he gets the kill though. Yes, he does. 5 kills. Nicely done. 3.6k damage in a tier 7. That is quite epic. $1,618 basic speed, which especially for a tier 7 is very, very epic. So the battle started at 36, that means that at 31 I need to have a room invite, and if I don't get that I know for sure that it will be over, but I believe that it will be over. So I'm just waiting for a few minutes more to make sure, and then I will probably redirect you all to Rolling Swarm stream. In the meantime, I do wonder what they are going to be playing on, so I'm just going to check that quickly. Karna versus EG on Port Bay and Desert Sands, and Loka versus Raid on... Loka versus Raid on... also Port Bay. So that's going to be interesting matches for sure, on both sides. And I really, I wish I could just see it, because I would love that. But we still have about 4 minutes before the matches, well actually 6 minutes before the matches start, which means about 2 minutes before there should be a room invite or not. And now just the waiting games begins, and that is quite boring. And it's kind of like hoping against all hope, because I'm fairly sure that we will not get it. That's weird. The wood on this side at the back of the T22 is very lightly colored. And on this side it's really not. I think that's because it's just only on this side that you see it or something. I have no idea. Bit weird though. So it is 30 and I'm waiting for about a minute and a half more before I decide that it is the end. Because the room invite needs to be up soon. And I wish I got it, but I have a feeling that I won't. So I'm just gonna wait here. I'm just preparing a little bit of text so that you won't miss too much. Oh, but that's sad. I'd love to stream more matches. I think we need to like make wargaming work out of office hours, like on all days, so that we can always just have all the games all the time. But this will not be a problem anymore in professionals. It's just a problem for the Ascent Tournaments. So I can't really do anything about that. And that is the end. The room invite should be up. So I'm going to end the stream. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the gameplay that we had. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And shameless plug for myself. My birthday is in just over 2 weeks. And if I get to 5k subscribers before then, I'm going to have a very massive giveaway. So subscribe to the channel, like the stream, and for now, go to Rolling Swarf's channel, have a look there, because he's going to be streaming EG versus Karna, which is going to be epic. And I'll be seeing you guys on Saturday for more gameplay. So have a good evening, thank you all for watching again, and I'll be seeing you then. Goodbye!